Even though the storm's been over, the big one's been over for a few days, I ended up yesterday having several storm-related electrical issues. While I was taking a shower and getting ready to go out before the rain started again, the electricity in the bathroom went out. So I did my usual protocol. I do have water when the electric's out, so I was able to finish my shower, hopped out, and the first thing I did was unplug and close up everything in the bathroom, and did a quick walkthrough of the house to see if it was just the bathroom that had gone out or the entire house. The entire house had no electricity. So next step, go to the breaker box. Everything looked fine in there. Looked across the street at the little cabin. There was a porch light on the night before. Porch light was off. So at that point, I knew it was a problem affecting at least the entire property, if not the entire street. When there is a blackout, I give myself one opportunity to open the refrigerator door. In the summer, I'll have a cooler with some ice packs in it. In the winter, it was cold, no problem. So I opened the door, took out what I thought I would need for the next meal at least, and decided to look around the property and see if I could see anything else or get any more information about this blackout. Because I don't have electricity, I don't have internet access, so I had no way of checking if something had happened, or PG&E had no way to text me. So I thought I would just do a visual inspection. I went outside and saw the power line between my house and the cabin across the street was drooping. Now it leaves my house, it leaves the main PG&E pole, comes to my house, and then it goes to the house across the way. They have their own pole there. I walked around, looked at all the connections. Everything seemed to be okay. There was one area where there was tree branches, but I couldn't see anything at that point, and it looked like everything, all the wires and everything were still connected to both houses. So I couldn't figure out how this happened. I also do walk the property every day, rain or shine. I either do a physical walk around the property, or I have multiple places around the house where I can go and just get a visual from kind of afar, the way the property is laid out. There's about 10% of the property I cannot see from my house. So even if the weather's bad, and especially if the weather's bad, I will put on boots and go up and look back there too. So yesterday, everything had been fine. This had happened between yesterday afternoon and this morning. The line does go over a road, an access road to the other properties up the top of the hill. So I was concerned about that. Even though it had not drooped there, it had more drooped over my own front yard. So I thought I need to call PG&E, and I got my jacket on and walked down the road to my nearest neighbors. So as I got closer to the house, I heard the sound of a generator, and I knew the power outage was pretty much global, not just me, and whatever was going on at my house, there was obviously an overlay of another situation. They had a functioning landline, and I was able to call PG&E. They told me on the phone, I asked about both issues. I said this line at my house was over a road, and I was really concerned about it, so they said they'd send somebody out as soon as possible. I asked about the second situation, and they said it was affecting about 140 people. Later on, I found out that on the highway, a power pole had fallen down, I guess as a result of the storm, and started catching on fire. It was a mess. So they had to close the highway, rerouted the traffic through a small frontage road, and were able to get it fixed. While I was talking on the phone to PG&E, my neighbors made me a lovely cup of tea. We sat and had a beautiful time, and while we were there, the power went back on. I left feeling warmed and happy, plus they gave me an extra calendar, beautiful calendar from the local pharmacy, and some chocolates, both of which I needed. So I walked back up to the house and waited for PG&E. When I returned from the neighbors, I looked back up at the power pole, and through the branches, it was a little bit lighter at that point. I could see, it looked like the connecting piece that held the wire up so it could reach the roof of the other house had come out. And what I think had happened, it was a combination of it being a 20-year-old fixture, and the tree branches there had just knocked it out of place. It was still stuck in the tree branches, and it didn't look like anything had actually become disconnected. So I was a little calmer about it, but still did not like the situation. PG&E came by a little while later, and the technician was just so wonderful. He told me that actually this situation, even though it was a permitted situation, 20 years ago. I still have the permit. It was through the county, not through PG&E. It was totally legit, but it was not a situation they generally handled. However, he was nice enough to say he would reattach it to the power pole, no problem. So I'm back in business with the electricity on the road, the electricity in my house, everything's a-okay. It, however, was a very good lesson on the fact that storm damage doesn't necessarily turn up the day of the storm. Again, you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes the damage takes a couple days to reveal itself, even weeks or months. So all is well here back on my little homestead, and I hope all is well with you. Thank you so much for watching.